Welcome. Let's get Becky on the spotlight.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome, everybody. So if you don't know who I am, if you're new, my name is Becky Wiggins, and I'm a longtime Battlefield mom, and now I work for Battlefield doing community outreach and fundraising. And I'm filling in for Angie tonight, doing announcements. So she's been out of town, but she is going to be back like tomorrow or the next day, and she will be at Run for Recovery. So that brings me to Run for Recovery. So if you don't know, we're having a Run for Recovery on Saturday, May 13th at Rogner Park in Auburn, and registration starts at 9. The walk run starts at 10. And if you're new, you can go to our website, battlefieldaddiction.com, and click on events and find all the information that you need and where to register if you'd like to register. And so if anybody on here hasn't registered yet, please do that as soon as possible. That would make all our lives a lot easier, especially mine. Anyway, so we are going to have a great day. It's going to be like 80 degrees. So wear your shorts, bring your sunglasses, bring lawn chairs, bring blankets. We're going to do the walk, but we're also going to do some yoga by Renee. And can we pull Renee up? Renee, are you on here?
She's at the Kent House.
Oh, she's at the Kent House. Do you want to talk about yoga, Renee? I can hear. Oh, I can hear you.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, so we're gonna do before the walk, run, whatever you're doing. I'm just gonna have some yoga going on. So if you want to stretch and join us, and just join the yoga community. Nothing super formal. You don't have to bring a mat too. We'll just do whatever. Just stretch out. So come join us.
Thanks, Renee.
Yes, thank you, Renee. I'll definitely be stretching, if nothing else. But and we're also going to have music. So we're going to do the walk and run. We're going to have a Mocha Motion that does coffee specialty drinks. We're having a food truck called Tasty Z. They're going to have great hot dogs, some popcorn, shaved ice, things like that. We're also going to have some Starbucks coffee and music by Chicken Joe Rewired, who's done a lot of our events. That's Tim Silk and Joe Keller. They've done quite a few of our events. If you've been, you should know who they are. But anyway, so for Battlefield families, if you guys could bring a couple cases of water and or some baked goods, because we're going to have a coffee station with Starbucks coffee and baked goods there for just like a small donation, if people would like to have that when we're getting going, along with the yoga before the race. And bring a little cash with you for those things, or bring your phone. We're going to have QR codes so you can make a donation if you want. I believe Mocha Motion and Tasty Z will take credit cards. We're going to do a 50-50 raffle, which is always fun. And so the tickets will be 1 for $5 or 10 for $20. If you are already registered, you should have gotten an email with all this information. Some of those emails have gone to other folders, like spam folders and other things. So check all your folders. Also, you can check on Facebook on the Battlefield Addiction Run Walk for Recovery group page. And I think we'll post it elsewhere too. But if you have any questions at all, I posted my number, my email, Angie's email, and Kristen's email in the chat. So take a look in the chat. Then again, if you're new, again, we'll give you a chance later if you'd like to introduce yourself. And I know there's at least one person that wants to do that tonight, which is Darcy. I hope you're on here, Darcy. And also, I'll let Art talk a little bit about how Battlefield works. So if you're new, generally what you do is come in for a consultation first. So you'll be calling our director, Angie, for that. And that's the main Battlefield Addiction number. That's on our website, on everything that is Battlefield Addiction. You can find her number. And then lastly, am I forgetting anything else, Kristen? Am I forgetting any? Oh, Run for Recovery t-shirts. Can you put Kristen on can you pull her up? There they are.
Here's the t-shirt, guys. Isn't it a cool color? Loving it. You're going to want one of these. So register. Register and come early because we have a limited supply. We have like 300, but still, you want your size. So cool.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing the final list the night before. So if you can register by Friday day, that would be great. There are a few people that are going to come in and register when they get there. But if you want to get a t-shirt, I would recommend registering by Friday afternoon. And then tomorrow we have what we call our Mothers of Battlefield, or we like to call ourselves the Mob. And we do a Zoom meeting every Wednesday at 11 a.m. And you can message us. I've got the phone number, email in the chat once again. But we get on, we talk about whatever, we discuss whatever we talk about tonight, or we talk about whatever's going on in our lives or with our loved ones. So please join us for the Mob. It's a super fun group. It's really great. It's a small group. We really get to talk and discuss things. So join us if you can. And I think that's it, unless, Kristen, am I forgetting anything? Nope, she's shaking her head no. Okay, all right. So next thing is our house comedian, Kyle. You're doing comedy tonight, right, Kyle?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, yep. Kyle first.
This is my corner. I'm fine right here.
Okay.
Yeah. He's in the corner.
I almost went unmute. You got to unmute everything just so I have someone laughing.
Kyle.
What?
I said you're up.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
Page 2.
One of our newest clients here, Bryce, has informed me that he was really addicted to mushrooms. Fried Bryce.
You can tell when he makes them up on his own.
We got to unmute Emily.
Yeah.
All right. Yesterday, I walked smack dab into a lamppost. I got light injuries. All right. I learned a new skill. I learned how to actually write a book in Braille. I actually just finished my book. A really good ending. You never see it coming. Yeah, I know. Something else, I also stopped using double negatives. It's a real big no-no. I saved the good ones for last, don't worry. Our very own Lucas actually used to make a living robbing people. Well, I saw him breaking into his own house. He was working from home. Mace, the other day we made our own Philly cheesesteaks. Mason, he shredded the cheese. He's the greatest. For those who remember, Chris Stampili, we call him Stamp. Well, Stamp got in a terrible accident and broke some bones. He recently got in a motorcycle accident and crushed his leg. He's got a cast and a walker. Well, he stole my camo jacket. And I said, you can hide, but you can't run. He's crippled. Okay.
Okay. Sound good, guys? Everyone hear it okay? Thumbs up? Okay. I'm going to get a little therapy tonight for myself. It is therapeutic for me to come in and talk about this. And so tonight, for half the night, I will take the parent side of things here. We do play both sides here. We work with the family, and we also work with the person who's trying to get sober. So we get to see both sides of this thing. And we get to live both sides of this thing. And so this week we got a heavy dose of the war. And, you know, it is a war. We're in this war of, and it's very odd that we're in this war. And it's very odd that we kind of don't know what we're fighting, and it seems like we're fighting drugs and alcohol, and that's not the war. You know, the war doesn't end at the end of drugs and alcohol. That doesn't even, that just is the start. It's almost implied that that we're in a war, and it's implied that you know, the drugs are the issue, but that might not be the case. Instead, so I'll tell, you know, I listened to this man talk. He was giving a talk. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but anyways, he was giving a talk, and one of the things that he referenced was he was sitting in a mall, and he was drinking a cup of coffee, and he was watching a young kid try on clothes that he wanted in the dressing room, and the kid was 5. And the kid's mother is there, and the kid wants a particular clothes, and the mother's telling him no. And the kid throws a tantrum. So the staff of the mall come over, and they remove the mother. They remove the mother, and they take the mother somewhere, and they say, "We got this. We'll get him changed and get him back," or whatever. And that calmed the kid down. The mother was gone. That calmed the kid down. And and then about 5 minutes later, the mother comes walking back in the picture, and the man sitting across the mall with the cup of coffee sees the little 5-year-old, and they lock eyes. And as the little 5-year-old locks eyes with the man, he gives him a nod, kind of like watch this, kind of a wink, kind of a nod. And then as soon as his mother walks back into the picture, the tantrum begins again. But prior to starting the tantrum, that little boy looked over and he gave the nod to the man, like, guess what's about to go down? And the man in his talk said, it was the first time in my life that I really saw the manipulation of humans, that I really saw our capabilities as manipulators at an age of 5, that this could start to come into play. My friend Adam Day, we were in 7th grade, and Adam Day really was kind of a connector with all the kids, and Adam decided that he wanted one day for us all to play football. He was afraid to ask us if we could all play football. Instead, what he did was he found out what each one of us would like to do that day, and he then asked each one of us to come over for that particular reason. So he asked me if I'd like to come over and play poker. He asked somebody else if they'd like to come over and watch football. He asked somebody else if they'd like to order some pizza. He asked somebody else if they'd like to watch a movie. And we all show up thinking we're there for different things. And then Adam says, let's play some football since we're all here. And so about 40 years later, my friend Adam, who became a severe crack addict and is still a severe crack addict, about maybe 35 years later, he comes to join me as I begin to start this program. And he's sober for a little while, so he asks for a job. And he comes and he works for me. Well, one day I needed him to drive me up to Redmond to a lawyer's office. We go up to the lawyer's office. We're in the van. We get done with the lawyer's office, and it's 4 in the afternoon, and we got to drive from Redmond to Kent. And as we get on the 405, as we're getting in through traffic, we noticed that we didn't get in the right turn lane, or that the turn lane to get on the 405 was extremely long, extremely long. Well, Adam didn't want to do that, so he got real creative, and he drove up to the front of the line, and he rolled down the window. And the person, he goes, please roll down your window. And then the other person rolls down their window. And he goes, hey. And right above the stoplight, it said left to 405, a big arrow. And Adam rolled the window down and got the person and said, hey, do you know the way to 405? Could you please tell me the way? As if he didn't know the way. And then the person goes, oh, yes. Just get right in front of me. You got to get over here in the left lane. So as that person did that, Adam looked over at me with a huge grin and was so proud of himself. And I said, Adam, this is your problem. This is your entire problem in life. Why didn't you just ask the person if you could get in front of them? And it indicated to me that Adam was not done using drugs. He was not done with this game of life in the way that he played it. And so this war has been going on this week, us and the clients, and there's been a real tough week. And it makes me wonder, well, all these people have quit drugs and alcohol. Why is there still a war? If all these people have surrendered, why is there a war? And what you come to learn is we're not just surrendering our drug use. We're not just surrendering our drugs and saying it's over now. Because that's the start of the war. You surrender your drugs, you say it's over now, you say I can't do any of this, but that's just the start. Because now the next step comes in building another life. And it's a very odd thing that it takes building another life it takes surrendering to begin the process of building another life. But what exactly are we asking people to surrender? What exactly is it that we need to somebody to give up? What weapons are we asking them to put down? There was a book I remember, and it was titled, What Got You Here Won't Get You There. It's like that. It was a business book, and it said, what got you here won't get you there. Not a chance. So everyone I'm talking to the kids in the program now, or I'm also talking to the parents about understanding the war that we're in. But what we're talking about is what got you here, the strategies that you've picked up in life, the tantrums, the threatenings, the threats. You know, the biggest, really the number one thing that we are facing as a strategy right now is somebody that's that doesn't get their way, and then saying, because I don't get my way, I'm going to go screw up my life worse than you've ever seen. And it is the oddest strategy to suggest that because you don't get your way, we all care that you're going to go screw up your life. And we do. We happen to care enough that actually works. So one of the strategies that all of us parents are dealing with is this idea that they say, please let me get my way or I will burn my own house down. That's a strategy. Tantrums are a strategy. Silence is a strategy. Gaslighting is a strategy. You know, when you're failing and you look at your life on paper and you're able to look at your life on paper and take an honest look, you would have to give up blaming everybody else for your failure. There is no other people involved here. There's no circumstances that make you fail. There's no people that make you fail. There's no program that makes you fail. There's no house that makes you fail. So what is it that we're trying these strategies? So the war that we're facing is a war of strategy. It's us against them. And the weird part is the parents and us, and the people that are against the people that are struggling, and the people that are struggling, it's this us against them thing because they're struggling and they're having a hard time in life. And the weird thing is they're having a hard time in life, but we all need to change. They've all figured out how we need to change. And that's another strategy. So what happens is, hopefully, recovery, the purest form, if I decide I want to be in recovery, when I surrender the drug use and I let myself know this isn't something I can do anymore, but then I surrender my old strategies. I give them up. You know, there is one way to get what you want in this world, one sure way, and it's in fact the only right way, and it's called the right thing long enough consistently. That's the only way a human being should get what they want. But that's not good enough for people. I cannot do the right thing long enough consistently, so rather If it's not going my way, I will throw a tantrum. I will use my leverage. I will threaten to ruin my own life. I will scare you. These are the strategies. And we care about these people enough, us and the parents. We care about it that they actually work. We actually care about people enough because these strategies actually work, because we're so damn scared someone's going to kill themselves, so damn scared somebody's going to hurt themselves, so damn scared somebody's going to go take fentanyl and kill themselves. We're so scared. This whole fentanyl thing is shocking. It's like it's coming, fentanyl is coming with the biggest warning label in the history of the world. There's never, you have to live under a rock to know that this stuff doesn't kill you. And yet people are still doing it. And people are scared. And people know it. And it's gross. You know, if you want to screw up your own life, don't blame anybody. Don't gaslight people and tell them it's their fault. Just screw your life up. Fine. But it's the new thing. Threats, leverage, cruelty, blaming, on and on and on. What got you here? That's what got you here. Those strategies is what got us into addiction. Those failed strategies is what makes our life unmanageable. It takes us to a place where we don't have our own apartment, where we don't have our own home, where we can't make a car payment, where we can't pay insurance, where we can't take care of our cell phone, where we don't have our clothes. That's because of the manipulation. That's because of your poor strategies. And thinking that you can go screw your life up, and if you outlast people, and you don't change, but you outlast people, somebody's going to come to your aid. And I'm sure many parents are here to admit that at a young age, their kid began to manipulate, like the kid in the clothing store. And because that kid began to manipulate like that kid in the clothing store, we didn't get a fire extinguisher and put that strategy out. And so they got a taste of that caviar and they kept eating. And parents will admit to that. And we admit to that as a program. We admit that we do it too. That when the manipulation comes and the threats come and people want to leave and people tell us we're bad, you know, me and Kyle have a saying, and the managers, we all have a saying. We stay the same every day. We haven't changed. We stay the exact same, except some days people are mad at us and some days they're not. And the people that have surrendered are never mad at us. So what does surrender mean? It means putting down my weapons. It means I no longer shoot these guns. It means if I don't get my way, so be it. It means I live in acceptance. If I don't get my way, so be it. I will do the right thing long enough and eventually I will. If it's not going my way, I will not threaten. I will not screw up my life. I will not go tell people I'm going to go back to drugs. I will not threaten to blame them. The other thing these people that we're dealing with is the strategy of collection. So a person who's not surrendered begins to collect a series of bad behaviors. They like photograph them. They put them in their memory and they remember everything you do wrong. They remember everything that our program does wrong, and they collect it and they save it up. And they save up all the bad things around them. And then when they behave poorly, they unload them. And they say, this is why I behave poorly. It's because of all the things that you guys do. Ladies and gentlemen, that's called gaslighting. And it is being done. I would have never thought it will, but it does. And so, one, me, the parents on here, I'm dealing with parents every day, and we're fighting the war of strategy. We're fighting this war of people not getting their way and then not believing that they can do the right thing long enough to get their way. How do you buy a car? How do you do these things? You know, you take a bus, you go to work, you get some money, and then you buy a car. Everyone knows that, right? Well, that's not how it goes down. How do you get your own place? You fix your credit, you save up your money, You go to the furniture store, you buy some furniture. You store that furniture because you got to get ready to move it in. You save up first, last, deposit. You go to the place, you apply with a credit thing. You get the place, you make 3 times the amount of the income. And in our world, that's how you get a house. That's how you get an apartment. Not the case for everyone. They think there's a different way to get an apartment these days. You just tell somebody to co-sign. You just have somebody else put out. You say, I need you to put out for me. And we're dealing with this. You see, every step of the way, every kid up on what we're trying to do and what the families are trying to do, what everyone's trying to do is just to get you to do the right thing. And you know what the right thing is. And when we surrender, and we surrender to this next right thing. And you know what it is every time. You just may or may not know that you do it. So we surrender to the next right thing. We put one foot in front of each of the other. And at our purest form, we do recover. And we recover through this process of putting down our old strategies, the threats we make on people, pointing out people's bad behavior so that I can behave poorly, saving up people's behavior so I can behave poorly, blaming people for my bad behavior because they behave bad. We put all those weapons down, the weapons of manipulation, the weapons of saying just a simple thing. We see somebody in our program and they say, are you going to the store? And we go, yeah. And then they go, oh, okay, cool. I want to go help you. And then they get to the store and they walk next door to the smoke shop and we don't see them. And there's the quintessential not surrendered person. And that's a big indicator. Why didn't you just say, can you take me to the smoke shop? And the reason is because you're worried about people telling you no and you're not getting your way. I saw this very brilliant little cartoon. Maybe I mentioned it last week, but I'll repeat it because there was a man and he was sitting in an airplane and he was looking out he had the window seat and he was looking out the window seat and the mother was in the middle and the daughter was in the aisle and the mother says, hey sir, do you think you could switch seats with my daughter? She wants to look out the window. It's her first time on an airplane. And the man said, no, and even if I wanted to, I wouldn't do it because it won't let your daughter learn this valuable lesson that I'm about to teach her. And the lady goes, what's that? And he goes, that you don't always get your way. And it was beautiful. It was true. And that guy said, you know what? I'm not being a dick. I'm just telling you, you're not getting your way. But see, that's people now will call that man a dick. We'll call that man an asshole for what he's doing. And this is what we need to win this war. We need to get people to a place of surrender. They need to put down their weapons and they need to listen to suggestions and do the right thing. And you will make it 100%. Your life will get better 100%. You just put down your weapons. When you don't get your way, you sit with the pain of not getting your way. It doesn't happen overnight. We're not entitled to nothing. You will get your way when you earn something. Ask yourself, when is the last thing I've earned? Seriously, what's the last thing I've earned? Have I earned recovery? Have I earned people to listen to what I say? Have I earned money? Have I earned the money for my cigarettes? Have I earned the money for things? This is the war we're in. Everyone challenging people and saying, come on, let's go. Do the right thing. We know what it is, but then the strategy of I'm not going to do the right thing, and guess why I'm not? Because you screwed up. Because it's your fault. You guys did something wrong. So now I'm not going to do the right thing. What? Why do you care? Yeah, now that's a way to make the people around you at fault for your failure. But it's just not true. You can do it all you want. And so, what is this? As parents having to do this toughest thing I've ever seen parents do. 15, 16, 17-year-old kids. Why is it so difficult to understand people that people don't want you in their house doing drugs no matter who it is? Why is that difficult for people to understand these days? Why is it difficult to understand that if you go to treatment, people don't want you using drugs? All these things have now seemed complicated. It's now some mystery about why I can't use drugs in treatment. Some mystery about what it is that we're doing here. So put down the weapons. Do what's suggested. And all the parents are struggling because they know some of their kids are struggling right now. And guess what they're struggling with? And we'll hear from them tonight. We're struggling with strategies. Tantrums. Going ahead and going to break down their own life to the point of complete failure just to prove a point. Obstinance, stubbornness. The manipulation is thick. If you don't let me get my way, I'm going to hurt you. What got you here won't take you there. So you better develop some new strategies for life. You know what you do when you want something from somebody? You ask them. You ask them. And if they say no, you accept that. That's it. There's nothing else. See, the failed strategies are what causes the friction with life. But you don't see that it's the failed strategies causing the friction. You think it's people telling you no that causes the friction. You think people stopping you from getting your way is what causes the friction. It's not. It's a shitty strategy. It's not earning things and wanting them. And in recovery, you need to earn things because that's what makes you feel better about yourself. That's what gives you the pride. That's what takes away the demoralization. That's what takes away that feeling of inferiority that you have with people when you earn things. And I think we've forgotten this. And entitlement has ran rampant throughout all of us on here now. Notice that we are not sitting here talking about trauma. That even if we could, and we did, it would be pretty difficult to have a discussion. But what we are sitting here talking about today is a war. And you got to ask yourself, what are all of us at war? Why are we at war? Why isn't this just peaceful? Why isn't it just, hey, everyone's doing the right thing all week? Oh, man, it's great. It's not like that. Everyone knows that. It is a war. And the war will not end for you in the program. The war will not end for the parents until we surrender the strategies. Until we look up at our parents and say, I'll do what you say. Tell me what's best for me. I don't seem to know. My choices got me here. And I really have taken on an arrogant position thinking that my choices that got me here have now all just been made better in the last 15 to 20 days. And now I am gonna, or 60 days, and now I'm just gonna start doing it again. Earning things. Man, there's no substitute. It is the antidote to entitlement. To be an earner. To be accomplished. To accomplish things in a day. To say, this is what I got done today. I didn't use no strategies on no one. I didn't threaten people. I accepted when I was told no. Might have got a little pissed. But boy, the tantrums are running wild. Here we are. We've been at a war, and this was therapy for me, so I needed to vent, and this was my way of doing it. And, we're fighting it every day. We are asking people to do the right thing. That's it. That's it. Now, maybe you could at least say, we question whether you know what the right thing is or not for me. Okay, well, tell me about it. Tell me, make it make sense. Make it make sense. And we'll listen. And we can agree. Oh, I didn't see that. That might be the right thing for you. Okay. But when you tell 10 people you're doing something and they all look at you like you're crazy and say, don't do that, and you follow through with it, that's because you're crazy. That's because you're nuts. It says in the second step of the 12-step program, it happens to say, we came to believe a power greater than ourselves would restore us to sanity. Now, what does that say? That says that millions and millions and millions and millions of people have gotten sober and gotten their life back in recovery. And all those millions of people took the second step. So in order to take the second step, we came to believe a power greater than ourselves and restore us to sanity. We must have admitted that we were insane at some point. We must admit that our insane thinking is what got us here. That our insane strategies and our insane delusions and lying to ourselves. I'm just going to use drugs once and I won't continue. I can smoke a little pot and be okay. I can drink and be fine. These lies are still part of the insanity. So think about that. Millions of people, it says it in past tense, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to notice the steps are written in past tense. And the second one says, we all came to believe that we were insane. We all came to believe that a power greater than ourselves would restore us to insanity. We all did that. Listen to us, son. We all did it. Millions. But forget what they have to say. I think my way of thinking is better than the 8 million people. Now, here we are. There's a lot of people that have surrendered. A lot of people in our program that have surrendered and are doing tremendous. They are listening to suggestions. They are doing the right thing. They've put down the weapons of manipulation. There's people doing really well. They're listening to the right thing and asking what the right thing to do is and then following through. Next right indicated action. There's a bunch of people doing that. But you look around and you see everyone that's struggling. And there will be only one reason. They have not surrendered their weapons. They're still blaming. They're still threatening. They're still tantruming. They're still belittling and blaming other people for the way that their life is. You know how many people have said, our program's going to hold someone back? Hold you back from what? Where the hell did you come from? Oh, well, I came from behind the dumpster, but you guys are going to hold me back. Oh, okay. We've never held anyone back, by the way. I think we don't do that. So I like to hear from the new people, parents. If you're in the war tonight and you need a little therapy, you're more than welcome to share your experience right now, what you're going through. But I trust you. If you're in the war right now, what you're at war with is not drugs and alcohol. You're at war against a strategy. You know it, and I know it. You've been going through it. And those strategies that put you on your heels, had you walking on eggshells around your own home, had you scared to live in your house. You know what I'm talking about. So, if you're new, Becky, if you find the new people and get them to introduce themselves, get people to share a bit.
Yeah, hi. If you're new and you'd like to introduce yourself, you can raise your hand, like physically, or you can go down to wherever on your screen and find reactions, and there's a raise your hand feature. You can see the little raise your hand right here, if you can see that on my screen. I know there was at least one person, Darcy, that said that she was going to get on tonight. So Darcy, where are you?
I see a lot of people we don't really know. I don't know.
I know there's some new people that don't want to talk, but I thought for sure Darcy did. Where are you, Darcy? Maybe she didn't get on. Do you guys see any raised hands on your side?
No, not yet. Go to the other page, Mason.
It looks like the Samsung is unmuted. Do you think that person wants to say anything?
Marson?
Right there, yeah. Who are you?
Not Darcy.
Who are you?
I think you're,
Blue hair.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
You.
I'm Sammy. I'm Josh's best friend.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
All right. Very nice.
Welcome.
Yeah, I missed last week, so I'm
Are you
here.
from Minnesota?
Yes, unfortunately.
Stay in Minnesota for us. Come on.
Minnesota.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Damn.
My family's all from North Dakota. They don't talk much different.
No, we talk the same. I'm from northern Minnesota, so
Yeah.
up by Duluth.
All right. All right. What do you do up there?
No, I live in Minneapolis. I'm just from the sticks.
Oh, but what do you do in Minneapolis?
I'm a leasing agent.
Okay.
Just
Well,
lease apartments.
what's a 3-bedroom nice apartment going for in Minneapolis these days?
$3,000 easy.
Really? It's the same cost of living as out here?
It's gross. It's gross. Yeah. Josh knows where I work. I've worked there for 17 years. Our nasty 1 and 2 bedrooms, we're like in the low of the low, but we're in Northeast, like the art community.
Yeah.
Our 1 bedrooms are $1,150 and our 2 bedrooms are $1,300. And there's no garages, no elevators, no gyms. Like it's the most basic that you can think of.
Our Colette, one of our parents, she just posted on the chat that she's from a place in Minnesota. So.
It's embarrassing.
Cloquet. Cloquet.
Coquette.
Cloquet?
Yeah,
That's
okay.
what we said.
Yeah.
That's up north. That's way up north.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
the
yes,
prices up there are much better.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us.
I'm here for Josh and Ian all day. I missed last week, but I'm going to try to get on every week.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever had 2 people in our program with a bigger team.
It's really
I love
nice.
them both. I love
We're
them.
really worried about making sure they're happy.
Yeah.
We want to make sure they're happy. The whole team.
I feel that they are both very happy.
All right, good, good. Okay. All right, Becky, let's get it out and get around here.
there's
I'm gonna
somebody,
give them to the parents.
Motorola, there's a Motorola Moto G style. Is that you, Darcy? Would you like to say something? I see a Zoom user as well.
Wow. Maybe
Nope.
maybe they're voyeurs.
They might just be listening. Maybe it's too loud or something wherever they are.
Look at it.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, this is Darcy. I'm trying to figure out
Your
how
camera.
to work Zoom. This is like my 3rd video
Oh, there you
I
go.
have
You're
ever
good.
done.
You figured it out.
Hi.
There you are. Hey. Hi, Darcy.
Hi. So my name is Darcy. I live obviously in Washington State. I have a 17-year-old son who is not, so far as I know, using drugs, but he's really, really struggling in school. So I'm in the process of getting him evaluated. He's really convinced that there's something wrong with him, like ADD or something like that. And I have a brother who he lives in Illinois, and he has been he's 37. His big drug is meth, but he's been using since he was 12 or 13. So I grew up in a household with a teenager who, used very seriously. And so I think my biggest reasons for coming here tonight is that I want to figure out strategies. And I know some already, obviously, like I'm not a new parent, but I want to learn strategies to sort of nip stuff in the bud. I don't know what the guy's name is in the living room who just did a very, very cool speech, but I took notes on that.
I tried.
What was that?
It was Kyle.
I tried, yeah.
Their comedy guy.
Oh yeah, Kyle, your jokes are awesome. Your jokes are awesome. So yeah, this is just, I'm, you know, at several times in my life as a parent, I've gotten to the stage where I throw something at the wall to see if it sticks for Logan, and he's done okay so far. I think he's under a lot of pressure. So, yeah, that's, without getting too much into personal details, I think that's it.
Darcy, the way we work, and I think it's very important, especially for you. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that I think are important, because it's a rare opportunity that we get to meet a parent before it's gone completely off the tracks. And it's great. This is what we want. This is the demographic that we want all of it, but we're really shooting to make a difference with this demographic and get to these youngsters that haven't had to go through all the things that the other ones have. And one of the things that you need that this provides, and the parents on here provide, is a map of the terrain. So understanding the terrain that you may venture into if we begin to do the evaluations and the doctors and the therapists and that kind of thing, and the pitfalls that can go along with that, just so you know, and how that really, you know, what we're seeing is when we do find out if there's something, you know, diagnosable with the person, it doesn't seem to be good news, because the person begins sometimes to use that problem as a solution. And what I mean by, you see what I'm saying? Now I have this diagnosis, therefore I shouldn't have to do school anymore. I shouldn't have to succeed anymore. And I begin to see myself as a science project, and I begin to identify.
Exactly.
And so those are just some of the pitfalls. And I want to make sure that, you know, we can do a consultation with you. And then what we do, after we do this consultation, is we're there as counsel. We're just there as counsel to guide you through what we've already seen. And we also use the other parents that have been in your exact situation. And I know 4 or 5 of them on tonight, and some going through your exact situation right now. And we use all that information and everything we have here to give you the optimal chance at success. So I'm hoping that you get scheduled with me and Ange, and we'll get the whole history and see where you're at and help you map the terrain.
Right, and I totally agree with the whole issue with diagnoses is that it becomes a crutch, and you're now able to blame, oh, well, this is my diagnosis, and you don't have to take responsibility for your own choices and your own behavior. I've seen it all because I experienced it with my brother. So that's probably why I've come to the table in this way, because I want to preemptively make sure, just like you said, that even though I know the terrain, you know, somewhat, I want specific strategies. So I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you. And my name is Art, by the way.
Okay. It's nice to meet you.
Okay.
Before you go, come to the Run for Recovery on Saturday. I have a ticket.
Oh, I'm here.
Like later.
Makes it this mutual. Come on. All right. Thank you, Darcy. All right. Who's next?
Jeez.
Going back to gallery.
Art, you know, it's really interesting what you were just talking about, because that definitely happened with us, with our son, is, you know, he was having trouble in school, and I didn't want to have him labeled, but it became really evident that he wasn't going to get the help that he needed unless he had a diagnosis, but he really did use that.
Yeah.
It's true. I think he still does, it's,
Yeah,
He does.
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Becky. Yeah, like I said, Darcy, get connected with these mothers, man. They got more experience, dealing with it, and we don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's kind of like what they say about reading a man's book. You read that man's book, and you get his whole lifetime in about 100 pages. And you can get a lifetime experience just talking to these parents that have already been through it. Because Jesus, you can't go through this alone. And by the way, and I see the Carlsons on tonight. I've been talking with them a lot. What an interesting case. And it's been an honor to work with them. And I talked to them today and I also talked to Allison today about this. And I just gotta feel for you parents. And I gotta say, I just can't believe it. And just this total climate that we're having to parent in which, you're pushing a rope must be the feeling all the time, because, you push and it doesn't do any good. There's no corner to push them up against. Life no longer seems to give any consequences. It's just, whatever they get to do, and the entitlement and the legalization of weed has caused tremendous, I don't care what people say, it's caused tremendous damage to at least Washington State. And it's been a hard road of parenting, and the cancel culture doesn't make it any easier, because nobody's willing to say the truth and say hard things to people. And that's what needs to happen, Sorry, you can't get your way. Sorry, but not anymore. And these tantrums that they're throwing at the home, they can throw them in school too, and it's okay. It's just all okay. So let's hear for some more parents tonight. I know Bev's going through it.
Yeah.
She might need to vent a little.
Yeah, if I can unmute myself.
There you go. Got you.
Yeah, I tell you, it sure helps to have the knowledge that so many people have had exactly the same experience. I mean, you just really, in that little talk you just gave, described our last 8 years of our lives, right? And the manipulation and the backpack of diagnoses and all of that. And, we love her, but I tell you, one thing I've been able to do over the past 8 years is really take myself out of her tornado and say, oh, I don't have to stick my head in it. If she decides she's going to go, ruin her life because she's not getting her way, somehow God's given me the grace to just say, okay, and not get pulled into that emotional. Now she's not using fentanyl. Yeah, I might feel differently if she were doing something like that, but she's been a great manipulator all her life, and has worked for her. And so now it's just a matter of holding the line and not giving her a bunch of options. And then she'll have to come to the realization on her own, when her life stops working for her completely, that she does need to make a change, right?
Yeah, that's right. What a great place to be in. You can't do anything, and you gotta just, you stick your head in it, it just gets worse.
Yeah.
No, you've done great work. It's also been an honor working with you guys every day and getting through this. So, thanks for holding the line, and thanks for, being there for everyone else too. Thank you.
Yes. Anything we can do, any value we can add. We've been doing this for a number of years, and I'm happy to help with strategy or even just somebody to listen to you, because I know it's really hard, especially in the beginning.
That's right. I was thinking about all the kids in the program, and I call them kids, guys, just so you know, if you're new, they're not kids. They're in their 20s or 30s or 40s, but I'm getting to be older now, so I get to call 30-year-olds kids. So I do that quite often, but they're not really kids, they're adults. And I can't wait for them to all become parents themselves and have to be on the other side of these strategies and these manipulations and really see, and God forbid your kid was doing fentanyl. And if you're in this program and you're using fentanyl, just for 1 second, think about how you would live if you do have kids. Just think, how would you live for one day if your kid was out doing fentanyl? Just think about it. And understand the impact that you're having on people and the fear that you throw into people when you're using drugs and alcohol. Just the fear that you throw into others, the worry. I know a lot of people don't know what it's like to worry about other people because we've been worrying about ourselves and our drug habit for so long. But the worry that parents are going through, the sleepless nights, just wait. And all of you guys are going to be parents and you have these kids, and God forbid they become drug addicts, but if they do, it's like reaping what you sow, it's like, damn, now it's turned on me. And, you got to stop this early so that you can be strong enough with your kids to tell them no. So you can be strong enough to tell them no with such love. And to tell them no just because to know that it's so good to tell a kid no. It's so good. And to get that skill, to be able to get called mean parent and have the kid say, I hate you, and go, son, I love you. And I'm telling you no because this is what I have to do. Or, it's beautiful. And I love watching people go through this process, but the war is tough. This war is tough when you're begging people to do the right thing. Just do the right thing. And guys, we all know what the right thing to do is. We just know. We know. And we're given it. It's this pain or pleasure thing that started early for us, especially as addicts. It's like we started choosing pleasure over pain. So anything that became work, everything became a rationalization. So if I don't do the right thing, and I continue to not do the right thing, I have to begin to blame others because my life begins to fail. And it's hard to admit that you're the failure. And so now I got to blame other people for how it's going because I didn't do the right thing. And at any point, what the beauty thing about this is, at any point that you want to surrender and put your weapons down, you can. Any point. And when you do, and you surrender to the next right thing, you might have to ask what the next right thing is if you don't know. But you surrender to that motto. I will do the next right thing. Hey, Art, I'm going to go to my job. Should I tell them if I'm a felon or not? Yes, you should. It's the right thing to do. You go in and tell them you're a felon. If they give you the job, great. If they don't, fine. Go somewhere else. Tell them your history. Tell them whatever. Be honest with people. Whenever you're given the opportunity to lie or tell the truth, tell the truth. You don't need to ask people if you should lie or not. Hey, I cheated on my girlfriend. Should I tell her? Oh, what the hell? I hit a car. Should I leave a note? Yes. Hey, should I pay for this soda or steal it? Pay for it. On and on and on. Unless you're at Walmart and steal it. That's a joke. That's a joke. But we don't like Walmart down here. They make me they make me do self-checkout. So I feel like I have to work at Walmart every time I go there. So now I feel like I'm entitled for at least $15 off my price because I'm doing about an hour of work. So I just kind of like, sometimes I just miss the scanner with a particular item that's about $15 and I put it right in the cart. Or more than me doing it, I like to tell the kids to do it. Please skip that one. And then I get to save $15. But no, that's a joke, but it's true. I wish I could do that. But I do think people could do it and I wouldn't fault them for it. But Walmart is the greediest place I ever seen. So, down here, so greedy. You can't even let people have a job anymore. That's how greedy they are. It's like, damn, that's greedy. It's like, I thought you started a business so you could employ people. It's like, we're going to have to go. You go to McDonald's now, the same thing. Go to McDonald's, you got to go type it in on the screen and
you got to make the burger.
Your food's going to shoot out the side of the wall soon. You're not even going to fucking be able to see a person. It's going to come. It's like going to be in a bank. Thump. There's your burger through the tube.
You gotta drop the fries yourself.
Yeah, they're gonna have me cooking the fries. Oh, would you like fries? Yeah, you just gotta come back here and cook them. What? Yeah, it's insane. Make my own cheeseburger, roll my own burrito. God dang. So yeah, it's always. Well, sometimes I don't do the right thing. Okay, who's next? Please share. Please give Darcy some words of wisdom, or maybe some kids at the Ken house want to yell at me and say I'm an asshole. I don't know. Anything. I'll take it all.
I bet Biscuit has a complaint.
Oh, come on. I see Nancy on here. She hasn't been on in a while. I bet she's got something in her mind that we could hear her thoughts. Let's unmute Nancy.
Say hi.
Hi.
There, you have some thoughts to share.
Well, I want to say thanks for everything you said tonight. Good stuff. Just, I definitely think some strategies have been used against me lately.
Yeah.
I'm probably also late to saying this. I think everyone else has said it, but congratulations on your recent marriage.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But shouldn't we be congratulating Angie? I mean, really?
Yeah.
That's a joke again.
I know. That's a joke.
Yeah.
It takes me a while.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's good to be in this group.
Like, huh?
It's good to be in this group. I recently retired, so I'm going to try to hook up with the Wednesday morning moms.
Nice. And we're going to be in town. We're going to be in town next week. So
Okay.
we'll come in for the Run for Recovery on Thursday. We'll be in town next week, and we do a live solution group at Orion next week.
I know. I'm sorry I'm out of town that day, so I'll try to zoom in for that.
Wednesday we do a coaching at the Ken
Okay.
house. So we'll be there for that. Anyone's welcome to come to group coaching, get signed up with Becky or Angie. Live solution group tomorrow. And then something special the week after. Parker Olson and maybe a few others that are in the program. But Parker Olson will be spotlighted, and I want the parents to be able to ask him questions and kind of panel him and get his experience and hear from him. And maybe his mother will be on to tell their experience and what they went through. We never thought that Parker would still be alive, to be honest. He was a heavy fentanyl user, and we didn't think he was going to make it. And he OD'd several times, and he's made it. And he's prospering and doing really well. So we're going to have him on. But yeah, we'll be up there for you. And yes, I'd love to hear what's going on with your daughter. And so we'll do it there at the coaching. Thank you for coming in.
Okay.
All right, come on, let's raise some hands. I don't want to call on people. We have a Jackie that's new. Who's? It's not Jackie Tomlinson. It's the Jackie next to her. I don't think we've ever met her. It might be another one of Josh's team. Maybe she gone.
Sunset Jackie.
Yeah, she got a sunset as her screen. Okay, who's next? Come on, we got Denise Charters or the Carlsons or
Michael Patterson.
Michael Patterson, or we got a lot of people. Tracy Carley's on, Christy Guadalupe. Let's hear from one of you guys. I give 5 seconds and then I call. 1, 2.
Pick Michael.
Okay, we'll call on the Carlsons. We're gonna hear from the Carlsons. I got you. Look at them.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Okay.
Well, you guys are, in the heat of the war. It's a
Yeah,
good
we
time
are.
to get some out and share.
So last week was our first solution group, and we've been in touch with Art every day because every day is some new roller coaster situation. It feels like we're trying to get our son some help. And what he described with the manipulation and gaslighting. I mean, it's so, when you're in it for so long, you just feel like I don't know, I've lost my confidence of what I think or what to say, and I second guess everything. And I do start to feel like the blame shifting is severe. And I did last night. This stuff happens in the middle of the night. I said, no, don't do that. I'm not taking your shit. Stop it. And because he started telling me how it was all my fault.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we're weary and scared and trying to hang in there.
And just no matter how much you tell yourself it's not your fault, no matter how much you tell yourself to like forget about it, and it's crazy, it still just lingers, doesn't it?
Yeah, because my kid's out there doing who knows what, and I just don't understand where it all went.
You're in the heat of the battle, and the anger's there, and it's easy when the anger's there. It's easy, it's protective, and then the little battle ends, the words stop, and then they leave. And then what you guys don't know, especially if you're in the program or, what I'm talking about here is there's this war, but then they leave and all your anger subsides and all you feel is love and you feel compassion and there's no anger to protect you and you just have to sit there and worry and feel those emotions. And it is brutal. And I know what you're going through. It's brutal.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Man, it's so tough. And, I'm giving this group tonight because I just want the kids in the program, the guys and girls in the program, the adults in the program. I want y'all to understand, man, you're going to have kids. You need to understand what these parents are going through and what you can put your parents through. You think that you're not, but you are. And, when you surrender, the fight with your folks is over. It's done. You just surrender. Put down your weapons. If you don't get your way, that's fine. Life will show up for you. It always works out. Take it easy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Art.
Who's next? This is great. It's really great. A lot of people sharing. Yeah. Jackie, we're going to get you on now. Unmute her.
She has to unmute herself.
You got to unmute. There you are.
Well, let me see. Well, I have two children that are on fentanyl,
Okay.
36 and 38. Been on for years. So I've always had a card for your guys' group. I just never went on. And so I finally said, I'm going to check this out. So I got on tonight. I'm glad I did. It was really good word. And I just, sometimes you just need to know and hear that other people are in the same boat.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Where are you calling from?
Washington.
What city? We're from Washington too.
Puyallup.
Okay. And have you called Angie and scheduled a consult yet?
I have not. I just contacted her today and got the Zoom link to get on tonight.
Sweet. I would really love to get the background and get the whole story. And we got moms group tomorrow. It'd be a great place for you to go there and get on with the moms and share your story and get some support. They'll really help you there. And then let's get you scheduled to consult. Me and Angie, you're in the right place.
Thank you.
You're the place people come when they've tried everything else. It just seems that way.
Yeah.
And here we are. And the thing about us is we're here for you. Whether we get your kids out or whether we don't, we're here to guide you. And we're here to make sure And I'm sure by now you've hardened into a lot of things that you don't do anymore that you used to do, and you've went down a lot of roads that you shouldn't have went down, and now you've kind of learned, and you had to learn the hard way.
Yep.
You know, and you get toughened and hardened by this thing, and now
Yeah, you start accepting that if they're okay with it, you're okay with it, but really in reality, you're not.
right.
And then it's not okay. And so then you're back in the battle again, just fighting, for your children to get better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you've been a great mom, I'm sure, and you've been a warrior, and now it's time for some help.
Thank you.
So we got you.
All right.
I'll have Angie reach out and get you scheduled.
All righty. Thank you.
My
I'm
wife.
unmuting.
Okay. Bye, Ducky.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Yeah. Who's next?
Carly on.
Who?
Tracy, Carly.
Oh yeah. What's she going through?
Beach.
Joe.
Tracy, where are you?
Go to the next one. Right there in the bottom right. Oh, she disappeared.
Uh-oh. She didn't want to get on. Sorry, Tracy.
Oh, she's in the middle. She's right there.
I'm here.
Hey, Tracy.
I'm not planning on being online. Thank you very much. I've been online all day.
Okay. Well,
But you called me out, so
Yeah.
I'm surfacing because I'm listening.
I feel there's some payback coming.
I arrived a little late. I have another meeting on Tuesdays, but I always respect everyone's input. I particularly enjoy hearing from the crew. And thanks.
All right.
We're not alone.
Thank you, Tracy. Nice to see you.
Thanks, Tracy.
Yeah. What about Denise? This is Jarvis over there. I think she wants to share.
That looks almost like Stephanie. It's
Look
crazy.
at that big rock on her finger.
Hi.
Hi.
I just want to say everything you said is true. I see the spoiling happening all over again. The tantrums and from the 4-year-old and the 7-year-old till they get what they want. And I see it.
Well,
And Stephanie.
Stephanie.
They say that when a drug addict starts doing drugs, they lock into the whatever emotional age they were when they started doing drugs. A person stays at that emotional age for their whole entire time, and then when they get sober, that's the age they're at emotionally. And I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I do know. I mean, that seems a little extreme because you're not, whatever. But I think what is true is that we develop these strategies at a young age, like the children you're dealing with now. And if they get their way because of these strategies, and they get their way enough because of these strategies, they'll think that's how you get what you want out of life. And then if they start doing drugs, then that will be in suspense. They'll just keep those strategies throughout the whole drug use, and then get to a place when they're trying to get sober and still try to employ those strategies. Still try to get people to do things for them by those means, those childish means.
I was just sitting here saying, amen. That is so true.
Yeah.
I'm seeing so much of that right now.
And I don't think anybody should feel bad if they're doing this or if that's something that that they've been doing in their recovery. It's a great thing to know. And it's just something to go, okay, I need to get down to the truth about myself. What is my motivation? Am I manipulating here? It's something to look at. It's something to say, what am I doing here? Am I manipulating the situation? Am I trying to leverage people? Am I trying to force people? Am I trying to get what I want with force? Or am I doing the right thing long enough consistently? You know, am I earning it? You know? And it's so beautiful because it's fine, right? It's fine that that's
Right.
it's fine that that's where you're at. It's okay.
Right.
But when you keep it up like it's true, and you keep pounding on people and keep, man, sucks. But that's
Yeah,
it.
thank you.
You gotta normalize pain with those kids, man.
I know.
You know,
I see 'em.
it's hard these days, isn't it?
It is. The little ones are getting their way left and right.
Yeah.
All they got to do is start crying or the boo-boo lip.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I cave.
Isn't it amazing how manipulative these kids are? How do
Yes.
it's an innate skill. How do they have, you know, how were they granted this?
I don't know.
As young as 1 to 2 years old, we're seeing it now.
Yes. Yes.
Well, just, geez, I'm seeing it in the puppies. I mean, it's like that with our, you know, dogs. Dogs are getting manipulative.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Denise.
Thanks.
You know, I have to, our Angie is arriving from Cancun in about a half hour. But I think tonight was great, and I hope Angie will be reaching out to the people that need consults, and we'll get you guys scheduled. And Darcy, I hope you reach out to her. You know, I think that we're all tired from this war. And I think we come on here, it allows us to put the weapons down for a minute. And that's the beauty about this solution group thing, is that it combines both parents and the people in the program and other people that aren't in the program. And it combines all of us, and it gives us a place to put our weapons down and talk about the war. And we can talk about it with each other. Oh, Eileen, you got one more thing to share?
Well, actually, it's off topic, but you did mention that the dogs are learning how to manipulate too, or they can get the skill. But I've just noticed behind you, there's a black pooch that's been sitting in somebody's lap. Did you get a new dog?
Well, I'll tell the story really quickly. But me and Angie were living in an Airbnb in Auburn before we moved to Vegas. And Barkley, our dog, was out in the backyard, and a stray dog, this dog named Mocha, came into your yard. And then I thought, I was kind of like being coy. I kind of wanted to see Barkley get his first female experience. So I kind of turned my head the other way and let him play with this dog in the backyard. And then lo and behold, I looked out there and he was humping the dog. And then the next thing, I turned my head back around again because I didn't want to watch that. And then the next thing, I turned my head around and they were stuck together, rear end to rear.
I heard about it.
So now I had to Google. Oh shit! I thought, oh God, Barkley, you screwed it up. So I went to Barkley and I started trying to pull them apart. But you don't do that. So I looked it up on Google and it's called a copulatory tie, and it meant that the dog, it worked. It means this dog's going to be pregnant, most likely.
Oh, okay.
We eventually ended up finding the owner of the dog, and we began to talk to the dog owner and convinced her to give us the dog. And we brought both dogs to Vegas, and then about 8 weeks ago, she gave birth to 4 puppies.
You're kidding. Oh, wow.
Now we have these 2 dogs and we have 4 puppies.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Yeah. So that's that. That's how that happened.
Well, hopefully you've got plenty of hands there to help with all the
We
pooches.
do. Oh, we do. And I got to mention Daniela and Emma. And oh my goodness, these girls, every day they wake up and clean the puppies and clean the puppies' areas and feed the puppies and bring them out to play with them and take care of them. And it's part of our therapy down here.
That's great. Yeah, well, animals have a healing power for sure. So, all right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you next week at Run for
That
Recovery.
reminds me, please come next week. We're going to be live at Orion in Auburn.
Yep, we'll see you there too.
Kyle's Corny Comedy is gonna be live in person. Can't wait to hear those jokes. And once again, I hope you enjoyed tonight, and I hope you took something from it. And, you know, if it helped, good. But I just want to say, like I always say, it's such an honor to come into your living rooms and get the chance to help your family and get the chance to do that. I really appreciate it. I never get bothered by any of you, all of you that text me, anybody that texts us, please text anything. We're here to help. We're never bothered. We're on 24/7. You're welcome to get a hold of us at any time. So again, thank you for the honor of helping your families, and we'll see you next Tuesday at Live. All right. That's it.
I got somebody waiting for you.
Oh, no. Did you? She probably wanted to say something about the puppies.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I guess we're done.
Yeah.
Sorry.
On here. So if anybody can hear me, if you're wondering what Art was talking about, Solution Group out of Ryan, we're going to have an in-person Solution Group next Tuesday night out of Ryan Industries. It's in Auburn, Washington. Please message Angie or me or Kristen. We can get you the information of the address and where to go. And it's going to be 7 p.m. And don't forget about Run for Recovery on this Saturday. That's like only a couple days from now. And so for Battlefield families, you can bring some water, cases of water, and or bring some treats. That would be great. And if you have any questions, give us a call. Okay, so Saturday, Rogner Park, Auburn. Be there at 9 o'clock. Get registered by Friday afternoon. That would be my preference. So anyway, come join us. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a lot of fun. So does anybody have any questions about it?
Not yet.
No? Okay. All right. Then I guess we are saying good night.
All right, signing off.
Yeah, I thought it was over.
All right, Becky had him over now. Okay, bye.